I'd like to say hello and welcome to the webinar. So my name is Matthew Moorcroft, and I'm the Head of Global Marketing for Cambrex. I'll be taking you through the first part of this webinar before handing over to our speakers, Bjarne and Joe. The title, as you can see, of the webinar is called Quality, Speed, Flexibility, and Customer Focus. And we really want to use examples to explain how our core values can be demonstrated, and we wanted to use case studies with customers where we could. So hopefully you can see the next slide. This is what we wanted to plan to cover today. So as you can see, the main focus of the presentation will be on our two case studies, but we need to start by introducing Cambrex in a few slides, and then we'll hand over to the first of our case study, which is entitled Adapting to Change, and then pass on to the second case study, which is entitled Speed to Market, and then we want to wrap up with some conclusions, and hopefully we'll have some time for Q&A at the end. As Michelle mentioned, we invite questions, so we'll have a session for Q&A. Should we not get round to answering any of the questions or don't have time to finish them off, we would be happy to follow up separately. So please send us an email to the contact details at the end of the webinar. So quickly on the company overview slide, just to give you an overview of Cambrex, and these introduction slides are purposely left quite short. So the topic of the webinar is to focus on the case studies. So if you need more information, you're of course invited to go to our website or contact us at the end of the presentation. But very briefly, Cambrex is a top-tier API supplier to the pharmaceutical industry. Our focus is on small molecule chemistry, and we've been in business since 1981. We're listed on the New York Stock Exchange, and you can see our sort of strong financial track record. We've over 1,000 employees, and we have 7 locations worldwide. You can see them listed there. We have facilities in Iowa, the USA, Karlskoga in Sweden, Milan in Italy, Hyderabad, Tallinn, Wiesbaden, and our head office is in New Jersey, USA. Just to highlight some of our 3 main API manufacturing sites, though we have other sites around the world. The first one you can see there is in Charles City in Iowa, where we have around 300 employees. The site's been recently expanded, as you'll see in a later case study, and our competencies at the site include classic and advanced chemistry, as well as high potency APIs. But we also have a license to manufacture controlled substance products, DEA Schedule 2 to 5, and those are using APIs such as in pain and ADHD products, as some of you might be aware. We have another API manufacturing site in Sweden, in Karlskoga, and this was founded in 1896 by Alfred Nobel. And here we have around 350 employees, and has, as well as classic and advanced chemistry, the site has the high energy, high explosive capability, expertise, which is an important legacy of the connection from Alfred Nobel. As a result, Karlskoga was able to handle various high-energy reactions, including nitration, catalytic hydrogenation, azide formation, and so on. Finally, we have a API site just outside Milan, and we have around 300 employees there. This is where we produce many of our generic and branded APIs, as well as custom manufacturing projects. As you can see on this slide, we've tried to overview our recent regulatory history, which tries to link in with the quality aspect of the webinar title. So you can see they've all been audited within the last year by the US FDA. So in July 2013, we had an inspection in Charles City, in December 2013 in Milan, and more recently in March 2014 in Karlskoga. So before we jump on a few more slides on the Cambrex expertise, I think it's worth mentioning at this point that the pharmaceutical market, as most of you are probably aware, is either served by chemical-based or biological-based therapies. A lot of press is actually given to the more recent, the more newer, the sort of more expensive biological therapies, such as those monoclonal antibodies and recombinant protein-based products. But it's fair to say that chemistry and small molecules still represent the lion's share of the API used in the drugs today. So by Cambrex estimates, we think around 84% of revenues in last year were due to chemical-based drugs, which ultimately end up in pills, tablets, and capsules, and so on. But it's also fair to say that there's been high growth in biologics. But despite the high growth, it's going to be a long way before they displace chemical drugs, if ever, in the pharmaceutical market. Small molecules have been on the market for over 100 years. It's an important point to note, though, that any CMO who is strong in the industry needs to have a strong competency in chemistry to satisfy demand. So this means ability to handle, a good CMO will have ability to handle most types of chemistry, whether it be chiral, biotransformations, high energy chemistry, high potence, and controlled chemistry. So just on that, and linking to this slide, is a very quick overview of the types of technology that Cambrex is actively involved with. There's more information on our website, so not to distract from today's case studies, but you're invited to the website to find out more information. But as you can see, we like to think that Cambrex has the flexibility with its reactors and its capacity to be involved all the way through the supply chain, whether it be clinical supply to commercial launch quantities. And the idea is, we're very proud of the fact that you would not need to come to use another CMO when you come to Cambrex. You could stay with us. We would stay with you for the life of your project.